7
There
PM.
we go. Copy of the minutes from last meeting, March 1st.
Take time to read that.
And to a motion to accept the minutes.
My only comment was on the item 3. You know, this was sort of to warn people coming in. I also thought that was the original intent of the flyer. That, we are a right to farm community. Thought that was the original intent. That was sort of missing from the minutes.
Okay.
To warn them, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was-
advertise that we-
Maybe that's too strong of a word.
Keep
Inform
them apprised.
Yeah, you keep them apprised.
Yeah.
Informed.
Yeah, to inform them, though.
Right.
All right. I'll add that definition in there.
Okay, anything else? We get a motion to accept
As
Yeah.
amended.
as amended.
I so moved.
Okay.
Second,
Yep.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All set. Moving on.
Second. Approved. As amended. Okay.
As far as updating the farm list, any ideas of what to do, how to get people to, we're all a little busy
Yeah.
right now, as we've discussed out of here. Do we know of any specific places or people in our neighborhoods that we want to approach?
To add to the list?
Yeah.
I have a couple that I will write down to you because I forgot to put that in an email.
All right, so you'll send that to us?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good.
How exhaustive do we want to be on that list? I mean, I could just, people I see on my street, I can stop and knock on their door if they're on the list.
Okay, so
But-
let's see. So step 1 is we should type up our current old/new
Right.
list and then approach people
Right, exactly.
because they may already be
Might
on
be on
there.
there, right, exactly.
No sense putting in time on that.
Do we have that list somewhere?
Yeah. Let me-
And do we need to convert it to electronic format, or is it?
It is in an
Excel spreadsheet, yeah.
Excel
Great.
sheet. Did I bring it? We had reviewed it the last meeting a little bit. This is kind of where we're at, so you can just take a look at it. And if you see any names you
Very-
want to add to it,
Very good. Now, is this your only copy, or, because you got some,
with, well, I printed one copy.
Okay.
And then we went over it in the last meeting,
right,
and we added names to it, or crossed ones off.
sure. Now, for example, am I a hobby farm?
Yeah,
Yeah, that, I think the list, basically, we want farms, people who are interested in farming,
Right,
hobby farmers, farmer wannabes, if we want to say
right.
it that way.
Yeah, that's my category.
And,
well,
so,
you have animals.
I have animals,
You're
right.
already a
Yeah.
hobby farmer.
Yeah,
yeah,
but I'm certainly not,
Commercial farm.
commercial farm.
right, that's not a
Or,
criteria.
get with the chapter 61 or whatever.
Right, no,
Yeah,
that's, no, a loose membership, just
Loose membership, got it.
so we can talk about farming issues, ideas,
Right,
know where people are who have animals
right,
in case of emergency and so on.
right. And I see like Chris Perner, I mean, he's got his logging company.
That's agricultural,
That qualifies?
yes.
Good.
Excuse me?
Bless you, by the way. So, okay, so, let's try again before our next meeting. You forgot a couple more names.
Yes.
I know we're all busy, but maybe
Yeah, let
some.
me take a look, a picture of that,
Yeah,
and I will try to update the list.
see if you have any that you know that you can just send me and I'll update the
Sure.
spreadsheet. Okay,
Farmers Social,
what we had said in the last meeting was, that you would host it in the summer, perhaps August, on a Saturday or Sunday evening. And
Yeah.
that's part of the reason to get this list together, is to invite everyone to the social. And also, as issues or things come up, we can start to build the farming community again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts right now?
by next meeting, I'll pick a date.
Okay.
Need to discuss with Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pick a date.
What do you need for the social?
Well, probably, what we did in the past is basically a potluck.
Potluck?
Um,
Do you need a tent? Do you need chairs? Do you need a grill? Do you?
We may need chairs and tables, or
Mhm.
maybe just chairs, depending on how many people.
Okay,
It's, we have a, basically carport / pavilion.
right,
And so if we have 20 people, we might need a couple chairs. If we have 30 people, we might need a few more chairs, maybe a table or two. But, yeah,
I have tables.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
use at my farmer's market. that
And
you're
so do
welcome
I.
to.
yeah, same here.
And the tents. I don't.
Yeah,
Not,
shouldn't need the tents.
okay.
Um,
Not a big. I don't have a lot of chairs.
Yeah.
But I do
Yeah,
have
chairs,
tables.
chairs would probably be, well, I don't know how many people, we'll have some people sitting around, but most people will probably be standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Farm
have,
people
I
tend
have
to do.
I have a half a dozen chairs full
Yeah.
of
And I
chairs.
can
I
think I
can
have like 8 chairs.
Yeah.
bring. So, there we go.
Yeah, I think
That
we'll-
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
Shouldn't
really
be
potluck.
Much to put
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
okay, great.
So potluck, like we bring it all, or potluck everybody who comes. brings?
Everybody
Yeah.
that comes
Okay,
brings
so that's
a dish.
How we're
Yeah.
gonna
And we-
advertise it.
Yeah.
And in the past, we said if your last name starts between A and
Oh,
such,
okay.
you
Yeah.
bring
Yeah, that's
this
a good
and
way to
this,
do it.
Right.
and then the
Right.
second half brings this and this.
Yes.
And then it's BYOB.
Yeah.
And then usually the host would have, water, iced tea,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Great.
Sounds good.
And that's about it. And the potluck is usually fantastic.
Yeah, yeah,
It's always a lot of fun to get together.
yeah,
Mm,
We've
yeah.
had some
Yeah.
really great potlucks.
yeah, yeah, and it's been good people. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's and it's just to get to know each other and create a little bit of networking.
yeah, as much as it is a farmer's social, it's a town social to some,
Sure.
it's,
Mhm.
it's a chance to, people with common interest to get together.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think we have any progress on the flyer for
No,
realtors
'cause
at this
Tom
point.
was-
Yeah,
Is not here to report, so we'll just table that. Tabled. Because
And again, my daughter is in school for graphic art, so if, Tom ends up being too busy, she's done with classes by the beginning of May, so she could,
Mary's.
I don't know, and I have already told her about that. So she could use in her portfolio,
Yeah.
then she'd be happy to do that.
Classes. When is she done with classes?
I think
Mid-May?
like like May 2nd or 3rd or some kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay. Senior? Okay. Got it.
She's a
Got it.
4th year junior.
Gotcha. No worries.
Yeah.
Thompson.
Yeah, she's in college. Yeah. At,
College. I forgot.
yeah. Yeah, no, she's in college.
I'm
yeah.
so
She's studying art at
Sure.
MFA in Boston.
and can do the flyer. So that flyer would then go to realtors. So to be given to realtors. Put in the library.
I think we need to think
Town.
about what we want to say on that flyer.
Yep, town offices.
Yeah.
We could even ask that they be passed out to the students at school to take home,
Oh, sure.
because that will hit a whole different population.
I know it's not a big deal to pop things into the folders at the elementary school. I'm not sure.
Well, that's
At
where I
the-
would hit.
Yeah. At
Just-
the
just right
senior
here.
high school, yeah.
That's a joint
Right,
area, so
right.
we would just
Oh,
do
it's
this.
easy enough to just pop things in there. Like they're really accommodating when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think we need to think about what we want to say.
Yeah, bring some more thoughts to the next meeting for that.
And
Okay.
maybe we can get some type of an outline together. And then a few pictures and get it going. Website update,
I didn't get it done. Sorry.
next time.
Because I was out of town for a couple weeks, and I've been having a lot of doctor's appointments and things since then.
Yep.
So I will work on that. Me.
Farm to school plan.
Yeah.
Mary.
So I did speak with Jill Peterson, who is the principal at Hubbardston Center School, and the secretary, Janet Roddy, TTI. They both love the idea that we want to come back. They proposed dates. It's a Monday, June 12th, with a rain date of that Tuesday, June 13th. And the more, the merrier, the more animals that are, behaved and contained would be great. I said I could bring an observation hive pending weather, because that's always, if it's too cold, the bees get chilled. If it's too warm, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I threw that out to them, and they were very excited, which they hadn't been before about bees, so we'll see. So that's that. There's about 320 students. They will figure out a rolling schedule for the kids. They'll let us know the week before so that we know like what time to come in. And I said if we were done by 2, that would be good for us. And she said, oh, that definitely they need to be done for 2 just to finish up their day and be
Yeah.
ready for the school buses. So that would work for them as well. So even they're thinking like 9 to 1, 9 to, they have, so what they usually do is set up like a time frame, and then the teachers fill in when they have a minute, or so that the teachers know what time their kids are coming. So all of that will just take coordination on their part, but they're
Right.
very, very excited.
And the previous times they had the teachers,
Yes.
a teacher,
They'll have
and
an
a couple
adult.
parents.
Yes.
And
yeah.
a couple parents.
Yes.
So remind them that it was really nice to have a couple parents with each group as
Yes.
they rotated through.
Yeah. Especially this year, they don't have the staffing that they've had in the past.
So see if they
So
can.
definitely.
So
I will-
please
Yes.
ask them to ask for
Yeah.
parent volunteers
Yeah.
for that day. That really helps.
It does.
It's a shared activity then.
Yeah.
I thought that was really positive to see that.
Yes, they are very excited for that. And so I talked about the gardens.
So before we go to that.
Yep, I'm sorry.
I pulled this out of the Berry Gazette. In Hardwick, they had Birds of Prey visit schools.
Nice.
Do you want to see if that person wants to come?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Just to that's animals.
Yeah.
We don't want them near chickens, but you know.
Oh, no, they're like tethered and.
No, I know.
Yeah.
You can have that. I
Okay.
saved that thinking maybe that.
Well,
It's not directly farm related. However,
it's still
it's
really
all
cool.
it's all nature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If that person's not coming,
yeah. And is she local? Is she a local?
you can check into
I will
that.
check that, yeah.
So that would be something that maybe
Yeah.
could be incorporated, because she could focus on, you know, how they keep the balance of nature in our rural town
Right,
in balance.
yeah,
Just focus on that part of agriculture,
right.
you know.
Lots of times these programs you have to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe we can quickly reach out to the Cultural Council. They were looking for project ideas. There was
Okay.
that survey that just came out.
Okay.
So maybe reach out to our Cultural Council and see if they'll sponsor her for the school for Farm to School Day.
Okay.
I don't know if they spent all their money and it would be for next year's Farm to School Day.
Right.
And even if it is, we should probably apply for it.
Yes, and if we
Yeah.
book them or at least get
For tentative
on there-
agreement
Yeah.
for
yeah.
even next year, that would be a very nice thing for us to
That
work
would
with
be-
them on. I thought that would be a
Yeah.
really cool idea.
No, that would be awesome. That's
So-
that's a great.
So even
idea.
if the Cultural Council's budget is done for this year,
Okay.
we can.
There's also Animal Adventures.
Yes.
I don't know
They would also
what they
need
do
to
or
be
don't have
That are farm
that would be
related.
farm related.
Uh, I can call them. I don't know what they have now that they're in Hubbardston.
Oh, they are in Hubbardston.
Yeah,
That's right, the
they're way
residents.
over at.
Yes,
like,
I know where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they move in?
I don't. I'm not 100% sure
Yeah.
that they moved in, but I know that they're planning on being.
Yeah, they bought the place. The E4.
Mission
Yeah.
for
Property,
property, yeah.
I can also call them.
But it's, once again, solely farm related.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And very limited, and they would be part of a rotation. So
Right.
whatever
Right.
they do is only going to be for a few minutes, but they will be repeating the same thing for each of the grade levels
Yeah.
throughout the day,
Yeah.
so that they
Yeah.
They
they have to
understand
know
how that works.
Right.
And then as far as the garden,
all right.
So again,
then,
I,
on to the gardens.
I spoke to Jill and Janice, and they had planted. Janice had a parent volunteer, or the Girl Scouts. I think it was the Girl Scouts, planted a bunch of bulbs. So hoping that they come up this spring. But I just received an email from Janice prior to the Easter holiday, and she said she has a parent that would be interested in talking to us about a garden. So I wrote back quickly and said if we could squeeze in a meeting before this Wednesday, that would be great. I did not hear back from her, so by next meeting I will have a little information. Obviously we can talk about what we want or what we're looking for and what you want me to say as far as what, what we can provide them and what they can provide us.
Well, I think ideally, if they don't want to have crops that will be there harvested over the summer. You want a crop that's going to be there for the fall.
Okay.
and again, the situation is
like
that
pumpkins
Right.
or
where they
butternut
can't
squash.
use it in the cafeterias
Right.
They
Right.
they can be,
maybe
Dis-
donated to the senior center. Or,
well, they could be just part of a giveaway at the school.
Yeah.
You know, kids could be involved if the teacher's willing, or the person, excuse
Yeah.
me, is willing to have the kids spend some garden time. And does she have time to do that?
Right.
Is that in her thinking or not?
Right.
Um,
So we need to know what her time,
so the
what
other.
her ideas. look
Yeah,
like.
what her interests are,
Yeah.
but really no crops for summer harvest.
Right.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Fall kale. Kids don't necessarily like kale, but it's still
But they might try it if they grew it.
right.
And as far as watering goes, I mean, I could help out with watering. I can't take over the whole thing, but, you know.
Okay.
I think they have a hose.
I
there.
believe we had a hookup because.
I think there's a hose hookup out
Great.
there.
Yeah, Karen had a nice program going then,
Mhm.
there back then, and I'm sure they haven't. I mean, there must be a hose hookup on that side of the school building, so it would be nothing to run a hose, Mr. Mallard. You could
Mhm.
speak with him.
Mhm.
So pumpkins,
Maybe kale. It's a good fall crop.
yeah.
Well,
'Cause-
pumpkins would be good too, because then the kids could cut them up.
Well, that's, yeah, we could do another whole project.
Or gourds.
Yeah,
Doesn't have
yeah.
to be edible.
Right,
Could be gourds.
Yeah.
right.
That would, gourds give you more numbers of
Yeah,
than
which are fun.
pumpkins per
Right,
plant.
right,
So gourds are better because of, again, it's a fun thing,
yeah,
and you get a lot more per plant than
Right.
you do from a pumpkin.
and they're cute and tiny and people,
Yeah,
you could
they're
take them
handy.
home or something.
They're easy to take home.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
So what else is fallish? I don't know, I'm not really a gardener.
what were you asking about?
I said I'm not really a gardener, I don't really know what grows in the fall. Potatoes,
No, they're done by then.
let's see.
Cabbage.
Cabbage. So years ago, when my girls were in 3rd grade, and I don't know who it was, but they gave everybody, some organization or committee, gave all the third graders a tiny little cabbage plant, and you planted it, and then the following year, like in September, you brought it in or whenever, and you won a prize for how big your cabbage was. Was that you guys?
Mm-mm,
I wonder who that was.
not sure.
Maybe it was a state program?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
So those were, there
Yeah.
were things that,
Okay.
That's a good idea, though.
Oh my God, the kids loved it.
Yeah.
Ours always died because we have horrible soil. But the kids that grew it, which is why we're not gardeners because our soil is awful. But yeah, I mean, some of them, you know, they grow very big if you let them. Yeah, the kids loved it. Oh my God, they loved it.
cabbage is also good because you don't have to worry about frost. However, is
Yeah.
the garden fenced again? I can't remember if you said
I
yes
have
or
not
no.
been over to look at it, but what I can remember, it was fenced.
Because it needs to be.
Yeah, I will go check that out on one
That's
of my mornings.
just one of those things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
But anyways, we can.
So I hope that
and I
gives
don't
you
even
some
know-
ideas.
Yes, definitely. And I don't. She didn't give me a name, so I don't even know who the parent is yet. But hopefully, by the next
Okay.
time we meet, we will have some information.
So agritourism update, we did have a first meeting again for the ad hoc committee. I know I don't remember the date of the next meeting. They received a grant, if I
They did get it
for
approved.
the, is it MRPC?
I don't know.
It's a bunch of
the-
letters.
I don't know the initials. I got the grant
To
for writing it.
write the,
Writing the document.
the document, yeah, for the fall town meeting. So we did have the first meeting with that person. basically getting her feet wet. That's about where that stands at this point. Again, there's a second meeting. I hope it's not tonight.
No, no, it's not tonight. I don't know. I haven't seen any
Yeah, I
emails regarding a
Right,
next
I-
meeting.
I think we were trying to pick a date and then there was some other conflicts coming up, so it didn't quite happen. But that's back in the works.
Okay.
So they have to write a proposal and then have it voted on at the town meeting?
So the proposal is a change in zoning,
Okay,
and trying to write it, the idea is to write a proposal that allows some activities by right as farmers
okay,
under Mass Ag, and some will require like special permits and stuff.
okay.
And trying to write it so that it's not just good for this year and next year, but good for like 10 years
Right,
with who knows how things are going to go kind of thing. Therefore, having the legalese written professionally is a great
Right.
idea.
Right.
And that's where this money is to be spent with
Okay.
this person. The analysis of what we were looking for was pretty well defined last year in 2022 by the last, was it early June meeting maybe? End of May meeting. And then a whole bunch of other things happened and it just had gotten stalled.
Okay.
So,
but does it have support with the town? Or are we? just
yeah,
like-
it should.
Okay,
There's no downside.
right. Okay,
It's one way of helping get more business in town.
yes,
And since our town is an agricultural community, and every survey that's been done over the last decade says that's what they like about our community, we have to try and work on this.
Yeah.
And that's the reason. But under the current zoning,
right,
agritourism is not included, and we need to include it
yeah, definitely.
to be up to date. And that's the whole purpose of having this ad hoc project.
Yes, okay, good.
Nothing to report on financial issues,
Okay.
no expenditures or anything at this point.
Any new subjects? New things coming up we need to be aware of? Nothing on this end.
No,
It's just these last couple days have been no burn days.
oh, right. So windy out.
Right, if you are an actual farmer in town, you are allowed, under certain circumstances, to do a brush burn out of season,
Mm-hmm,
which has already ended. But you have to call the fire chief first and let him know that you're going to do that, and he'll give you a verbal okay.
yeah,
And then you can go ahead and do your brush pile burn.
What's the bird season?
It was back in March.
You know, when does it start?
January 1st through
yeah, I thought,
end of March.
And it's on, if you've paid your fee for your burn permit,
Yeah.
It's
it's
there.
on there.
I think Easter weekend was the last weekend. I think it
I'm
went
not
until
sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember the end of it.
April 9th.
But I believe we're past it
Yeah.
now. So that's, okay, I guess we're short and sweet tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody want to make a motion to go home and have dinner?
Let's figure out
Let's do
possible
it.
next
yeah,
meeting.
next meeting.
Next meeting?
At 5:30.
I'm sorry.
We'll try that again. I tried to schedule for 5:15 thinking I could do it so that we wouldn't have to do two, but I was discouraged to say that the next meeting already scheduled at 6:30 would still be too close.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought moving it up to 5:15 would allow us to be in just one place and not an extra special setup, but
Oh, okay.
that didn't
That didn't really work.
really work out.
Okay.
So
May.
May 10th?
We'll shoot for May 10th.
And that's a Wednesday motion?
Yep.
Alrighty. Okay, I will get a hold of the school.
Yeah, those are the
Marvelous
schools
things to
and
do.
the flyer,
Yep.
and I'll make sure I get the website done. Wouldn't you agree, are our 3 areas to focus on for right now?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll pass around that list, and anytime you have anyone to add to it, just throw me an email,
Okay.
and I'll be glad to add to it. I need a copy of that. It's my only paper copy with the added ones on there.
Let me,
Take a photograph,
Yeah.
there you go. That works. Smartphones are great.
It always takes me like 15 tries to get my check without a shadow when I deposit checks.
I've given up on that.
Okay. All right. Haven't heard of any other issues at this point. So I really need to make myself a note. Update website. Okay.
Motion to adjourn,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
second?
second?
Third,
All
do we
those in
third?
favor?
Yay, me.
Let's go home.
5:59.